You're an accountant, graduated with honors, and now you're sitting in a warehouse in Medellín, counting more money than most banks have ever seen, with a calculator. To be fair, you didn't exactly apply. A man showed up at your accounting firm one Tuesday, smiled, and said he needed someone good with numbers. You said you were good with numbers. He said great. He didn't mention the part where the numbers come in duffel bags at 6 a.m. in the back of a bread truck and smell like gasoline and poor life choices. That part came later, along with the guns and the millions of dollars in cash that showed up every single day, like the world's most stressful Amazon delivery. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, let's talk about the money. At its peak, the cartel was pulling in $60 million a day, not a month, a day. That's roughly $700 every single second. In the time it took me to say that sentence, the cartel just made $4,000. Your job is to count it, bundle it, store it, hide it, move it, make $60 million look like it came from a chain of laundromats in Panama City. You're gonna need luck, because in about 3 years, your boss is going to offer a country $10 billion. They're gonna say no. Day 1. A car picks you up at 6 in the morning. Black windows, driver doesn't talk. You're already starting to notice a pattern with people in this line of work and not talking. You pull up to a warehouse. Green metal door, no sign. That's the point. Inside, it looks like a very aggressive office supply store exploded. Tables, notebooks, pens, 3 counting machines, fluorescent lights that flicker, and about 15 guys sitting in rows counting cash in silence like the world's worst exam hall. Nobody looks up when you walk in. And cash. Cash on the tables, cash in bags on the floor, cash everywhere. A guy hands you a notebook and points at the corner of the room. Start there. There's about $4 million in it. Your pen cost about 30 cents. You're about to use it to keep track of $4 million. This feels like a design flaw, but you sit down and you start counting. It's 15 guys in a warehouse with no air conditioning in Medellín, which is hot, by the way. By 8 a.m., 3 of them have already jammed the counting machines, and one guy keeps miscounting because he's never seen this much money in his life. Neither have you. Who has? You burn through rubber bands like oxygen. $2,500 a month on rubber bands. You spend more on rubber bands than you used to make at your old job. By noon, your team has counted about $3 million, which sounds impressive until you realize that 57 million more showed up while you were counting. After the first month, you stop flinching when someone tops a bag with $1 million in it onto a table like it's takeout. After 3 months, you can estimate $1 million by weight, not a scale you put on a resume. But the pay is insane. Your first month, you make more than your old firm made in a year. You move out of the 1-bedroom, get a place in El Poblado, the kind of apartment you used to walk past and wonder who lives there. Now you live there. Your wife gets a new kitchen, your mom gets a new roof, your daughter goes to a better school. Nobody asks where the money comes from. You tell them the import business is doing well. You buy a car. Nothing crazy. You're not stupid. Nice enough that your neighbor notices, but not so nice that anyone starts asking the wrong questions. But you don't have a money problem. You have a storage problem. You have a where do you put it problem. And that's where things start getting really stupid. So you've got 60 million a day, and you can't open a checking account. You have to put it somewhere. At first, it's the warehouse. Simple enough, stack it, lock the door, done. Except the warehouse fills up in about a month. So you get a second warehouse, then a third. Then someone has the bright idea to just buy houses, regular houses, in regular neighborhoods, with regular neighbors who have no idea that the place next door has $11 million in the bedroom and nobody living in it. At one point, you're managing 7 properties across the city, and not a single one of them has furniture, just cash, floor to ceiling. You've essentially turned the Medellín real estate market into the world's most expensive storage unit franchise, and it still isn't enough. So you start getting creative. Money inside walls, money buried underground, money stashed in places that would make a squirrel with trust issues say, okay, that's a bit much. You keep a notebook with every coletta marked. Coletta is what they call a hiding spot. You have 14 of them. You've got 2 guys whose only job is checking the colettas. They come to you every Thursday with a report. How much went in, how much is still there, how much the rats got. Which brings us to the rats. Because you can hide money from the police. You can hide money from the government. You can hide money from your competitors. You cannot hide money from rats. They get into the walls, they chew through plastic, they eat through stacks of 20s like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet at a restaurant that only serves cash. Every month your guys open a coletta and find bills with holes chewed straight through them. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Gone. Eaten. Then there's the water and the mold. Turns out cash doesn't do well inside walls in a tropical country. Between the rats and the water and the mold, you're losing about 10% of everything you store. 10%. That's roughly $2 billion a year. You are losing more money to rodents than most countries have in their treasury. You report it. El Patron's response? A shrug. $2 billion, and he shrugs. Because when you make $60 million a day, $2 billion a year is a rounding error. This is your life now. But counting and storing is just the beginning. The real problem isn't having the money. It's making it disappear. You can't deposit it, you can't invest it. You can't walk into a bank with a duffel bag full of 20s and say, I had a really good weekend. Well, you could, once. In the business, they call this lavado, washing. You're doing laundry, $60 million worth of laundry. First trick, fake businesses. You set up a company, it has a name, a tax ID, sometimes even a sign on the door. What it doesn't have is customers. But according to the books, this little taxi company in Bogota is doing $3 million a month in revenue. $3 million. In taxis, nobody asks questions. You set up another one, a restaurant in Cali, an import-export firm in Panama City that imports nothing and exports even less. At one point, you're running the books for over a dozen businesses that don't technically do anything. You've created an entire fake economy, like The Sims, but with federal crimes. But fake businesses need real names. Can't be you. Definitely can't be El Patron. Enter the testaferros, frontmen, people who agree to put their name on a business they don't run, a bank account they don't control, and a tax return they didn't earn. Your cousin Miguel now owns a hotel chain. Miguel is 23 and was selling fruit on the corner last year. Your neighbor's wife is suddenly the CEO of a seafood distribution company. She's allergic to shrimp. Nobody said this operation was built on logic. You pay each testaferro a fee $1,000 a month to basically pretend to be a businessman. And most of them are happy to do it because the alternative involves a conversation you'd rather not have. Plata or plomo, silver or lead. In your experience, most people take the silver. But the fake businesses can only absorb so much. There's still millions sitting in colettas not doing what money is supposed to do. So you learn the next trick, smurfing, which is exactly as stupid as it sounds. You recruit dozens of normal people. Somebody's aunt, a college student, a guy who looks like he sells insurance. Each one deposits a small amount of cash at a different bank. Stay under 10,000, because anything over that gets reported. 9,000 here, 8,000 there, 9,500 across the street. 40 people, 6 cities, 5 days a week. Couple million a day through the banking system and nobody blinks. You've got 3 guys whose only job is managing the Smurfs. They report to you every evening with deposit totals. You write them in the notebook. Between the shell companies and the testaferros and the Smurfs and the colettas and the counting machines that break every 20 minutes, you are running the most complex financial operation in the Western Hemisphere on pen and paper, and nobody trained you for this. You went to school to help dentists file their taxes. Now you're washing more money in a week than most accountants see in a lifetime. But the higher the money goes, the more people notice, and the Americans are starting to notice. It starts small. A news report about money laundering in Colombia, general stuff, nothing specific. You watched on TV while eating dinner. Then one of your Smurfs gets stopped at a bank. The teller asks too many questions, the Smurf panics, gets flagged. You replace him by Thursday, but it's the first crack. Then the Americans get involved. The DEA has been watching Colombia the way a cat watches a fish tank. Patient, interested, getting hungrier by the day. They start pulling on threads. Taxi companies in Bogota that somehow make more money than actual taxi companies in New York. Turns out a fake economy is only convincing if nobody looks too hard. And now somebody is looking very hard. Back home, the Colombian government starts raiding properties. Not yours. Not yet.
A warehouse on the east side gets hit on a Wednesday morning. $12 million seized. Front page news. You read the article and do the math in your head. 12 million. That's about 4 hours of income. El Patron doesn't even bring it up. But you bring it up to yourself every night. Because here's the thing about being the contador. The sicarios can disappear. The drivers can disappear. The Smurfs are replaceable. The testaferros are disposable. But you know every caleta, every shell company, every name, every dollar. You are the most valuable person in the operation, which sounds great until you realize you're also the most dangerous person in the operation. Because if you talk, the whole thing comes down. Everything. Which means they need you, but it also means they're watching you. The same way the DEA is watching them, they are watching you. Your phone clicks sometimes when you pick it up. Could be the line, could be something else. You don't ask. A guy named Hernan, who used to be your partner, left the organization last year. At least, that's what they told you. He left. Nobody's heard from Hernan since. Nobody asks about Hernan. You notice that other people also don't ask about Hernan. There's a lot of not asking in this line of work. You go to the warehouse the next day. Hernan's chair is still there. Someone's already sitting in it. New guy. Looks about 22. You almost feel sorry for him. You go home. You eat dinner. Your wife asks how work was. Fine. Same as yesterday. She doesn't know what you do. Not the details. She knows enough to know she doesn't want to know more.
Meanwhile, the deposits are getting harder. 3 of your Smurfs flagged in the last month. You're burning through testaferros faster than rubber bands. 2 of them got nervous and quit. Quit isn't the right word. They tried to quit. 1 of them made it. You're not sure about the other one. You don't ask. And the notebook, where you keep everything, is starting to feel less like a tool and more like a confession. If anyone finds it, you're done. If you destroy it, the operation falls apart. If you keep it, you're carrying a death sentence in your back pocket. 1989. The Americans aren't just watching anymore. They're inside. DEA agents in Bogota, CIA money, informants everywhere. And the worst part, they're following the money, not the drugs, the money, your money. Turns out when a taxi company in Bogota files taxes on $3 million, and the actual taxi company doesn't own a single taxi, someone eventually notices. The raids start coming faster. 6 million from a Caleta on the south side, 9 million from a warehouse near the airport, 14 million from a house in Envigado. That last one was yours. Meanwhile, El Patron is not handling the pressure the way a calm, rational person would. He's handling it badly. He declares war on the Colombian government. Actual war. Bombs, assassinations, a commercial airplane blown out of the sky, 107 people dead because of 1 extradition law. And you still work for him because what exactly is the alternative? You can't quit. We've established what happens to people who quit. You can't run. Where would you go?
You can't go to the authorities because you are the evidence. That notebook in your back pocket is a one-way ticket to either a prison cell or a shallow grave, depending on who finds it first. El Patron, in all his infinite wisdom, decides the best way to solve the extradition problem is to offer to pay off the entire national debt of Colombia. He offers the government $10 billion to change 1 law. And honestly, from a purely financial standpoint, as the man's accountant, you can confirm he could actually afford it. The government says no, which in retrospect is probably the only sane decision anyone makes in this entire story. But it tells you something. If $10 billion can't fix this, nothing can. The money doesn't work anymore. The thing that bought silence and loyalty and judges and police, the thing you spent 8 years counting and hiding and washing, it doesn't work. The fake economy you built is being taken apart the same way you built it, piece by piece. December 1993. El Patron is dead. Shot on a rooftop in Medellín while trying to run. You find out the same way everyone else finds out. Someone tells someone who tells someone who tells you.
The man who once made $60 million a day died with about $40 in his pocket. There's probably a lesson in that, but you have no time for lessons now. Because the empire is gone. And all of it, every single dollar, secret and name, is in the notebook. You're sitting in your apartment. It's quiet. The notebook is on the table in front of you. You could burn it. You could hand it over to the DEA or the Colombian government, to anyone with a deal to offer. Trade everything you know for everything you want, which at this point is just staying alive. You could keep it. Hide it. One last Caleta, the most dangerous one. Insurance, or a death sentence, depending on the day. You look at the notebook, your handwriting on every page, 8 years of your life, in ink. You were an accountant. You were good with numbers. You were great with numbers, actually, but the numbers just got too big.